Hello, everybody. It's me, Granddaddy Loves Cars, and I'm here to make a video of something that's been weighing on my mind so long, so recent, but so strong, but also so long. And I'm no expert. I'm just a guy who loves cars. Study cars, research cars, all things. I'm no guru. I mean, I am Granddaddy the car guru, but I'm no special person. Now, what am I here to address? I want to address something in almost two ways. Now, I want to address almost one thing in multiple ways, almost two ways now. What am I here to address? That is Dodge. Now, yeah, woo, Dodge. Yeah, I know. Talking about Dodge. Yes, I am talking about Dodge. Why am I talking about Dodge? Because if you have been anywhere above ground and you care about cars, even about this percentage, you will understand and know that Dodge has rammed, no pun intended, rammed themselves into the ground. Now, there's other individuals, other YouTubers, great channels that have said this and said it in their own way and went into great detail, but I want to say it from the Granddaddy way, and I want to say it from just a pure, just consumer perspective, sales perspective, just a overall. Now let's speak on Dodge. We've all known and loved Dodge since Kingdom Come. Dodge is one of the original muscle car brands as a whole, but we're not essentially here for that. We're here for the past 20 years. New Hemis came out in the early 2000s. Great. They've improved them. There's about Gen 3 Hemis or so that's out now. Well, it was out. Good. The body styles, the body style we love. The Challenger was the same since, giving a roundish, 05-ish, 06, 7-ish. Whatever year that Challenger came out in the early 2000s is the same one until this year. And the same goes for Charger. This is the same body style since 2010. There's only been updates and refreshes on that body style. Like I said, there's only been refreshes of those body styles until now. This is the same platform, same chassis, same this. The only thing that's changed is updates, motor updates, obviously, scats and Hellcats and get backs and get rights. There's been lights, there's been technology, there's been things have changed. Still same car. We're still essentially here for that, but we're not here for that. Well, I guess we are here for that because Dodge had essentially become, I haven't checked numbers, but damn near I would say, let's just exit out of regular cars, pickup trucks, all this stuff. Dodge had become the number one car brand, essentially, for America. Now, people buy Camaros, people buy Mustangs, people wasn't them. Apparently people wasn't buying Camaros, but people were buying Camaros, people buying Mustangs, people were buying all these vehicles. However, Dodge, I don't remember the exact number, but for a long story short, in 2020 or 21, one of them years, Dodge had doubled the sales they sold when those initial models came out, which says when something becomes familiar, usually people buy less because eventually it's used to it. It's there. The sales might start at, let's say you sell 100,000 products in 2010. Over years, even if it's a great product, eventually, based on that product, somebody's going to want the new one. They want the new one. So the sales might go from 2010 to 2015. You might have sold 75,000. From 15 to 19, you might have sold 62,000. You get what I'm saying? No. Dodge was selling, like, for example, let's say in 2010, that's not the exact numbers. Let's say in 2010, let's say they sold 200,000. That's the kind of, I don't remember the exact numbers. However, let's just for numbers' sake, let's say in 2010, Dodge sold 100,000 Challengers. In 2020, they sold 220,000. Let's say in 2010, Dodge sold 200,000. I'm just making up numbers, so don't quote me. Let's say Dodge sold 150,000. I'm probably exact, so let me probably say more like, let's drop to 100. If in 2010, let's say if Dodge sold 50,000 Chargers, in 2020 they sold 200,000. It's that much of a up. What contributed to this number of up? And I'm not even going to yet. I'm going to come back to the aboves, because the ones above is ones that trickle down and what make they project the company or whatever. But what literal things contributed to this? Great motors. You have now granted, the 5.7 Hemi is not V8 Hemi. Is not that powerful of a motor. A base V8 motor is not. It's come in the Charger and Challenger about 375 horsepower. I don't know the torque number. It's not that powerful. Even if it's underrated, it might have 400. That's nothing compared to a Mustang and nothing compared to a Camaro. However, it's still decent power. It still feels good. It's still grunty. It's powerful enough till you feel it. And it has a great exhaust note. It's a V8 push-rod motor. Boom. You have a 5.7. You have a Scat Pack 6.4, 485 horsepower. You have all the Hellcat motors, I can't even name them. 707, 717 horsepower, 707 horsepower, 807 horsepower. All these exotic, the Demon motor. All of these are motors that, honestly, unless you bought some extreme car, some extreme Ferrari, even to the extent of Demon, when the first Demon came out in 18 with 800 horsepower, there was not cars making power like that. It's still not, honestly. But not to go on the tangent, but just they had great motors. The interior base isn't the best, but you get that motor, you get a decent car. Some may be family cars if you get a Charger. Also, if you pay more, which was, I'll bring to the next fact. If you pay more, you can get a great interior. You may have not seen one, but you could get a Charger or Challenger built with suede headliner, leather suede seats, red, tan, or black. Red. Some will say the technology is a little dated, and I will say it just may be. But you still get navigation, great audio system, sunroof. You get option for suede seats, suede headliner, rear view camera, all the things you would need to say, I love driving my car, plus the power. Plus, it was affordable prior to 2020. I will say, even throughout 20 with COVID, the power dollars, they gave you times 10 of the power for that car off the car of an affordable car for what it was. I don't think y'all hear me. Granddaddy ain't crazy. I ain't seen now yet. They gave you times 10. There's been no promotion like that on cars, and they still was making money out the world. You don't understand what I'm telling you. You mean to tell me you're almost better off buying a Hellcat because it'll damn near be the same price as a Scat Pack in 2020 because of power dollars, because this car has 707 horsepower? So they're going to give you $7,070 off, which at a car at that time was about 70-something thousand, with 700 horsepower that you can drive every day? Come on. You mean to tell me if I wanted a nice V8 family car, Chargers RT, I could have got $3,700 something off? A car that's top of the line in 2020, top trim, $50,000. I'm talking about at that time, spec'd out to the max. $50,000. All you have to do is go home, pay your car note, get a coda intake and exhaust, and you can drive that car reliably for 150, 70, 200 plus thousand miles. So we talked about what made the company great. We talked about the motors. We talked about the reliability, which they pretty reliable motors. And we spoke about the affordability. Now, let's talk about the flip upside down of it. We can really go back to, I don't even remember the year. I'm going to just say 2020, 21, somewhere around 2021, Dodge announced they're dismantling the SRT. The SRT division of Dodge. Now, what is SRT? SRT stands for Street Racing and Technology. That was the division, the group, the engineers of Dodge. That specific group was in charge of, hey, we're on the drawing board. What's the next best motor, car, performance we can make? That was the performance division. Point blank, period. That's what they did. Even in the day, SRT4 Dodge Neons. We got SRT8 before it was the SRT Grand Cherokee. Not just Dodge, I should say, the whole FCA, Chrysler, Fiat, now Stellantis, SRT did it. Now, what did they do? Everyone was like, oh my God, we will not have Hellcats anymore. What did Stellantis do? Which was the current owner of Chrysler, if you're old school, FCA, whatever you want to call Chrysler, Dodge, Ram. What did they do? They said, oh no, don't worry. We're not discontinuing Hemis, which they didn't. We're discontinuing that division. But don't worry, we will continue to make Hemis and all the performance vehicles you like. Which they did, it's true. However, we still should have took a light of something ain't right. That's what I'll say. Then what did they do? Okay, they kept their promise. They went out with a bang. They made all these amazing vehicles. Chargers, Challengers, wide body, standard bodies, her Durangos. I'm trying not to leave them bad words. Jeep Wrangler, 392, a Scat Pack motor in a Jeep Wrangler. You don't need that power to off-road, but guess what? You can. And then, in my opinion, one of their biggest, outside of the Hellcat period, being the greatest in a sense of what it is for just raw American muscle, in my opinion, what they did, they big thing, Ford has been the king of off-road in the period almost, in the American market since a long time. Why? Ford Raptor truck. It's an off-road king. It has everything you need essentially to off-road. Now, if you're a true off-roader, it's a little wide, it's a little heavy. Outside of that, it's a Raptor king. What did they do? They dethroned Ford in the worst way. They made Ford went to only Raptor that was a V8 was the 6.2 liter, like the old body style F-150, like 3 generations ago F-150s. 6.2, and I don't know the power of that. However, they went to twin turbo V6. They've been there. It's been 10 plus years of twin. Well, I'll say about 10 years or so of it's been nearly 10 plus years of twin turbo V6, which I will say is a powerful motor for any vehicle. It's like 430 or 50 horsepower, like 510 torque. That's a lot. Don't get me wrong when I tell you that's a lot. However, Dodge made the Ram TRX with a Hellcat motor. Technically, they can't call it a Hellcat because it's a Ram product and not a Dodge. Same motor. A 700 horsepower off-road monster. It killed the game. It killed Ford. It was. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all not hearing me. Y'all not hearing me. They dethroned the everlasting king. Come on. Then, not only did they put a Hellcat motor in there, not only did they say middle finger to emissions, middle finger to what y'all want, they named it TRX. 3 letters. What does that mean, T-Rex? A T-Rex devours a raptor in dinosaur talk. So, now, the video I'm making is getting lengthy, but what I'm saying is, let's fast forward to really now. Because obviously you get the message. Dodge did a lot of things to make the company great. Now let's start from here. Tim Meniscus was the CEO, whatever, of Dodge. He quit. That was the biggest red flag in the world. And they haven't been good since. But even before that, now, in the peak of now, I will say another thing of, I'll say this. It was supposed to be a push for by 2030, all vehicles, new vehicles will be electric. So what did Dodge do? They announced they're going electric. God. That's not bad in the sense of maybe the environment and future and technology. But let me tell you something. For sales, for consumers, for demands, it's terrible. You mean to tell me in the peak of you selling every V8 motor you make almost as best as you ever have and can, you said we're going to stop. You stopped making you changed the body style of the Charger. You stopped making the Challenger. You put an EV motor in there and you replaced every Hemi with an inline 6. That a turbo inline 6. Now, granted, that motor is not weak. It's powerful. But no one wants it. We want the Hemis. We want the V8 still. Now, and Tim Meniscus, he quit. But he ended up saying those above ruined it. He had no more room to go. They shot him down. So he said, screw it. I'm out. And I can't blame him. Dodge has, the owner of Dodge is Stellantis. The company has almost went to nothing because following these politics, these emissions, you gotta have emissions because you don't just want to pollute the world, but extreme agenda emissions, I'll say, electrification, y'all drove yourself into the mud and the quicksand. No one wants an electric Charger. No one wants an electric Challenger. All we wanted were the same motors, the same old ass motors, in a new body style with new technology. That's all we wanted. We never asked you guys for an electric nothing. We really never asked for a hybrid nothing. Dodge, we never asked you for anything that you gave us except what you stopped giving us. Now, I'm going on a little tangent. I've been on a tangent. Now let's think about this. One of Dodge's main struggle in producing those extremely powerful V8s was what? Emission control. And also, as Tim Meniscus just ended up saying, since he has resigned, paying the fees and fines and just the cost of being able to produce those basically bad emission cars, trying to make them emission friendly, and the cost you have to pay to make those when they're not the best. Now look, Chevy did two things recently. They just built a 670 horsepower Corvette. It's emission compliant. Now they flipped the script. It's a whole different motor like none before. It's emission compliant. Chevy just made a 1,064 horsepower Corvette that goes 233 miles per hour under $1 million. And it's emission compliant. Now, I will say those are different type of motors. They're dual overhead cam, which is more efficient. They're much more efficient motors. However, I could only imagine 1,000 horsepower car. How good could the fuel economy be? I say that to say, even if they were using push rod motors, it will only take so much R&D, research and development, research and design, whatever you want to call it, to say, hey, we can do this, that, and make it a little bit better. And then, let's talk about the largest elephant in the room. Dodge literally went from 2020 to, in 2020, they had power dollars. The most affordable cars, I'm going to keep it short. The most affordable cars to the most expensive. Literally. The same Hellcat in 2020, MSRP, went about 10,000 more. Every vehicle, every Dodge Charger, Challenger under the sun, TRX, they were affordable and they went skyrocket. Contributed to their downfall. I guess I just Granddaddy making this video to say, like, what the hell is wrong with y'all, Dodge? And obviously the CEO or whoever, Stellantis or the company, whatever, the sources have outed him and said he wasn't worth a damn. And he ruined the company essentially because he was doing all this emission compliance stuff. He wasn't listening to what he wasn't listening to his own staff, the engineers of the companies were saying. He didn't give a damn. He was just making cars and going electric. Whatever. The brand is ruined. And what are they doing now? They're scrounging. I'm not exaggerating. They are scrounging to try to develop, which I guess once was in process. They're trying to develop a new V8. I don't know what it's going to be. It's all type of rumors and word. And I'm going to add my 2 cents. All Dodge had to do, godly, tweak that 5.7 Hemi enough to bump it up to make it at least 400 horsepower. delete the MSD, keep it all V8 all the time, and made it to an actual real hybrid system. What? You're crazy. Keep it rear-wheel drive. Please, God. No front-wheel drive. No all-wheel drive stuff. Nobody wants that. A hybrid system boosts power depending on the size of battery you put in there. So if you made a 5.7 NA push-rod motor with about 400 horsepower, and let's say 370 to 400 pound-feet of torque, and you made it to a good, do some research, Dodge, a good, properly functioning hybrid system that can bump your total power rating up to 470, 50, 500 horsepower. Literally. Still getting instant torque from that hybrid system. I know that sounds crazy, but that would have been a gazillion times better than stop making what your customers want. Hey, you have 10,000 customers. Every customer wants red apples. Give them the green. Nobody's buying them. Why are they buying them? Well, they wanted red. You gave them green. That's what Dodge did. Instead of making the EV, why didn't y'all just tweak some of the motors to make them more efficient, more powerful? The ones that were selling the best, the Hellcats, why didn't y'all just keep doing that? Keep doing it. Y'all could have made a hybrid Hellcat. That sounds dumb. It would have been better than an EV. You could have made a hybrid Scat Pack with a green, a blue bee on it. That would have been better than an EV. Now, I had to sell all my Dodge stock. Granddaddy loves some stock. My Stellantis stock. Because the company ain't worth a damn.